Roach having a pretty fantastic series last time around, so expecting to see maybe Cuvée take a step out and have Roach get some game time as this series progresses.
And a lot of people have been asking where Cuvée has been. He has been actually playing solo queue.
Yep.
Quite a bit. I have run into him. And so I'm actually looking forward to seeing what he's going to end up doing here tonight. And, you know, interestingly, Fly is playing tonight. We just saw an Aurelian Soul pick yesterday, and Fly is one of the Korean Aurelian Soul enthusiasts. So we'll see if maybe Aurelian Soul ends up coming out here again tonight. Aurelian Soul was someone that hasn't been picked for a very long time, and it was mostly because he was missing a lot of damage. He did just get buffed in 9.2, got a little bit of an added stun duration that lets him weave in another auto attack and a passive proc.
Yeah.
So that technically converts into damage, but when all the other mid lane champions are getting hit, Aatrox, Galio, whatnot, only Akali really remains, and if everyone's bad, well then Aurelian actually has a chance to be sort of good.
On this side, and we're giving up. On the Ezreal, the Kai'Sa is going to be picked for that late game scaling. Gen G looking to try and get past 35 minutes unscathed and win the game.
Well, that is the Gen G way of playing.
Yeah.
In Kingzone now, they're going to be able to respond with a ADC counter pick.
That
Sivir.
is very fast. All right, Sivir going to be locked in, of course, one of Deft's most famous champions. Tucson going to be on the cow as well. I mean, you can get the Alistar through the early laning phase with the extra shove coming out of the Sivir. So I don't mind it, and still leaving all of the flexibility in the hands of Kingzone, looking for a jungler and a solo laner after this for those guys. Same thing to be said over the side of Gen G. So flexibility is the name of the game.
Braum now locked in for Gen G, and with so many junglers remaining and so many being able to fit into either of these comps, I would hope to assume that Gen G is going to try to pinch the top lane champion pool. I don't really know if that's a Jax jungle yet.
Imagine if they just locked in Jarvan now, you just have no idea where anything's going.
If they choose another one of these types of champion,
Sion.
Okay, well that's going to be a Jax jungle.
Yep, Sion going to be most likely heading towards the mid lane, I'd assume, because Pawn has been the one on the Sion duty more often than not. But the beauty of this comp is the fact that you can flex those solos to whichever positions you feel are the best. Gen G do have that option as well, depending on what they're going to pick up for their last remaining solo lane right here. And Cannon for Cuvée could be a good option. He is going to lock that one away. Looking to abuse that top lane, get all the klepto that he wants. That lightning rush double auto shenanigans that can happen in the early game is very lucrative for the old Kenny.
And I am so excited, as I'm sure many people watching this game are. Urgot versus Sion.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Whew, no sarcasm there. No sarcasm there at all. No, I can feel just... Shingy had that ultimate available. Pawn getting hit by a bunch of damage here as Gen G do effectively take that one down, but can the fight actually be in their favor? Good Unbreakable denies a lot of damage. Glacial Fissure getting a couple of knockups, but this is a disaster. The pickup, the fear beyond death, and the cow gets turned into a stake. Now Pawn trying to get some damage down as well, but Gen G fighting as a unit. Brilliant kickback, denies the decimating smash.
Furthest proximity from Baron, so...
Peanut in trouble as this is Kingzone's favorite brush, and Pawn is going to just eradicate the Lee Sin from the Rift. Feels so good as an Akali player to kill Lee Sin. Yeah. Because historically, Lee Sin has been the bane of every Akali's existence. Maybe not quite as much anymore since the rework, but always feels good. As Pawn, his variety bucket of items paying off in that one.
That is... You're not going to have that option available to you.
Not necessarily.
Here we go.
Oh, in goes Tucson, gets a nice double knock up on the back line. Ice Pawn, not quite enough there, as now Rascal gets a decent knock-up. Pawn dives into the backline, but has the Shroud. Look at the AoE damage! The perfect execution's beautiful, and the headbutt is even better, but the fear beyond death says it doesn't even matter. Ruler decides to go in, and that means Kingzone members start to fall. Rascal still trying to zombie Sion something, but Kingzone not going to get this team fight.
Yeah, and instead of going immediately over to the Baron when you know that Deft doesn't have teleport, he's out of mana and Cuz had to recall, instead they're looking to only capture an Ocean Drake, but no matter how you look at that, Gen G did just completely turn that on its head. I thought it was going to go a lot better for Kingzone. We'll take a look at it one more time. You can see Gen G stacking up the brush. life pokes Cuz, but then multi-man knockup. You can see Rascal trying to come in here, completely whiffs his Scion ultimate as Pawn waiting just on the other side of the wall. He jumps into the team, followed up there with a multi-man Jax ultimate, but the Cannonball able to do a lot of damage, gives Fly the Fear Beyond Death execute onto Pawn, and then it was all too easy for the remaining members to pick up the remnants of the Kingzone team.
Okay, the Scion gonna
what?
land on the only one as Cube just insta-kills Pawn. It's a disaster, actually, as Peanut diving into the backline. Deft can't get any autos. The Fear Beyond Death is well and truly well named here, as Gen G just fight off what was a Kingzone flank botch and take a Baron.
Yeah, and this Baron isn't gonna be able to be easily resisted. We just talked about that a few minutes ago. Kingzone trying to respond with whatever they can do, which is to eliminate the minion waves and then try to get turrets, but it's not really gonna do anything. And all I'm waiting for, the icing on the cake here is when Kingzone try to kill the Ocean Drake so that Gen G, who are going to be in the driver's seat, can then...
Actually going to be backing away.
Oh, man.
Pawn's going to dive into the back of the pit here as the Slicing Maelstrom right on top. Tucson gets Cuvée out of there, though. Still hasn't pressed his ultimate button as the kickback is on to Pawn. Slicing Maelstrom does come out, but immediately he is taken down. Deft full health in the backline, and this could be the team fight they're looking for. Ruler's going to be taken down. Peanut, the next one on the menu for the Sivir, has a stopwatch to buy some time, but Kingzone are dealing with everyone. A triple kill now for Deft Sivir, and this should be a Kingzone Baron as Rascal flashing on top of Fly. The decimating smash is good for the slow, and Pawn should eventually get rid of the Crab God.
Yeah, well, Fly even using the stopwatch right there. And he goes down as well.
Are we just
Kingzone,
looking for the win?
Yeah, they're just looking for the win. And this is something I was talking about a little bit earlier, that the death timers are just so high. If a fight goes as clean as it does and multiple members are standing, Kai'Sa, Sivir, they can both just raise turrets so quickly. And Kingzone, after losing for the majority of the game, turned one team fight around. Cuvée couldn't quite locate his R key. It is quite hard.
In the immortal words of Skara, they were losing until they won. LS, that's exactly what happened. They found a team fight where they were able to deal with the cannon, and then Deft did his auto attack thing. It was a Beyblade arena, and when a Civ is in a Beyblade arena, you're going to be feeling real good about it. And one team fight, and Kingzone were able to take it. But Gen G, it felt like they had fight after fight where things were working. They were proactively taking Barons, but they weren't able to push that advantage any further. They fall into a trap that Kingzone set up, and despite the Variety Bucket Akali build happening once again, Pawn is going to be victorious this time out.
Pawn's face, though, as he's being talked to right at the end of the game, it looks like mine when I open...
Deficit, 2,000 gold behind, but still able to find the team fight, and you can see 22,000 damage done by the Sivir, the same in the back pocket of the cannon, and that's basically the story of this game.